Oh, it's Monday. You know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. You know what that means. Oh, it's Based Af Monday. Welcome to the show. I'm not alone. I'm not alone today, which is wonderful. I'm glorious. I don't have to sit here and rant by myself saying hi to everyone. Though, I don't mind because you guys are all champions, lords and ladies of the internet.
You thought you were safe.
Andreas is back and Caul is here.
Yo, what's up?
Dude.
Andreas.
What's up, guys?
I felt
What's
really
up?
good about being back, but now that Caul's back, I feel completely outplayed. You know what I mean? When Caul's back, it's like, this is pretty big, bro. I miss you.
No way.
Yeah, way.
No, he's right. You, I think, have made the least amount of appearances in the past year on Base Staff over anyone
true.
else.
Yeah.
But quality over quantity, you know?
That's
And
right.
George also now has been kind of MIA for a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
He's been working a lot.
Well, he got freaking. Well, I don't want to say he got canceled, but kinda.
You got
like-
canceled? George got canceled?
Yeah, like there was some. So he was working in the medical realm, not to be too specific, but he had some clients that were huge clients to his business. Basically, like it was a good percentage of the business that he did, and they said, "Hey, we saw your videos,
No
and
way.
we don't like what we saw, and you're losing our business." And he was
Wow.
like, I'm stepping down. I'm leaving this business. And for that was like the thing that they agreed on. Like, they're like, all right, well, if you step down, like whatever. And so he gave it to his mom or something to like run the business. So it's like still in the family, I guess, but he had to he lost his job basically.
Wow.
And has gone full into his YouTube channel. Thankfully, he's freaking
He's incredible.
fantastic.
The stuff he's been
You know,
doing recently has been out of control. His stand-up stuff was like the vagina
Right.
monologues, but for the woke
well,
monologues.
the woke eulogy was fantastic.
Are
So
there penis monologues?
Yes. I went
There
to one
are.
once. You don't actually want to see it, trust me.
I don't want to see either of them, to be honest.
Dude, I went to both,
Mhm.
and yeah, I regret. I mean, I told George, I was like, actually, I feel a little healed from the vagina monologues because of the woke monologues. Like, you actually helped me a lot, bro.
well, I mean, we all come through those gates.
Come
to
through those
start-
gates? Thanks.
That's not way to make it disgusting. I'm saying like we all come through we all pass through those gates. All right. Is that better? Is that
entrance.
less dirty? Jeez, it's the
That's
entrance
my
to the
fault,
world.
really.
You know, we
It's
all,
true.
every single one of us owe our thanks to a heterosexual couple.
It's true. Several.
Or an alien
probably.
that made someone in a lab, maybe.
That's true too. But to go far enough back, you know.
Yeah.
Those people do exist. I swear.
Wait. That keyboard.
Yeah, it's better.
When did you put that keyboard in the background?
Hey, you just noticed my keyboard. Yeah, I've been dabbling, dude. This is Nisha's. It's a Roland.
Oh, nice.
It's like a really, dude, this thing's like super it's so advanced. Like I just turn it on and hit the piano button and like
That brings back
I
so
don't-
many memories. I have a clavinova. Well, I don't have a clavinova, but
I don't even know what that means. What's a clavinova?
It's like an older, by now it's older, electric piano that was my piano growing up as a kid.
Cool.
And now
Nice.
it's in the basement of my parents' house in the East Coast somewhere. And my niece
gathering
plays it.
dust.
Yeah, it gathers dust mostly. But that reminds me of that. Like that, those are badass keyboards.
Dude, this thing is a freaking beast. I mean, I don't know how to really. I tried to figure out the sequencer, but I think I accidentally deleted like something on it, or I honestly I feel like I messed something up, and I don't know.
What have you been playing, or how have you been practicing it? Because I've been practicing guitar poorly, and you know.
This I got like a cheat code. Nisha got me these like. If you see like they have the chords
Yeah.
written on them.
That's kind of
Whoa.
based. That's thoughtful.
Yes, right. It was a Christmas present, and
That's cool.
she taught me how to. Let me just put that back because it's gonna annoy me. She just showed me like, hey, if you want to do like an E, you find E and do that's the bass. Where's E here? And then you do the 3, and it's just like the shape of a chord, right? And I know guitar chords, but like I know an E chord, and it's like my song Walking With You, for example. Like I know it's E to A, so I could literally play Walking With You now because I just play E to A, and now
Can you hit your E major over there? Will it make sound?
I mean I could I don't know. It's not plugged in right now.
Major.
I
That's
can
cool.
plug it in. Fuck it. Let's do this. I'm doing it.
Dude.
It's actually quite easy to plug in. It's literally right here.
I like them
tell me
keyboards.
if it sounds crazy.
Andreas, your beard looks nice.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're looking dapper over there, bro, with your whatever that background is. I love it.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I had like a dungeon instead, I thought, but like that was
I like that one.
Serious. Yeah.
Some Victorian cool shit.
Right. Hardwood. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a piano in mine.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I can't hear it, so I don't know what I'm playing, but actually, I have my monitor. I could slip under my. I love having musical shows. It's pretty fantastic. Last week, me and Flawed just geeked out on music last week. It was awesome.
That's the shit.
Yeah. Hold on. I need a monitor in so I can hear myself. Now I can actually hear myself in the mic too.
Ooh.
That's awesome. That's pretty good.
I didn't know you were this good.
That's a song I just wrote that. I wrote that last week.
I like it.
Yeah, you're
Nisha really likes that one.
I know you could. Yeah, it
cool.
sounds like your kind of thing. I didn't know you could crush guitar and piano. Now you're just taking over.
Well, I don't know about crushing piano.
Bro, you're gonna be Dick Van Dyke in that scene with all of the things at once. The drum and the
I like Dick Van Dyke of old. I don't know how he is nowadays. He's still alive, isn't he? Isn't he like 100?
Keeps begging. He says he's begging God to like let him die, but God
That's
has cursed
crazy.
him and won't let him.
Is that serious?
He literally says that. Yeah.
That's nuts.
God's forsaken me years ago. He says. Yeah.
It's weird how they fit. He put like a 30-year-old man inside of a 90-year-old or 100-year-old's body. He literally looks like he is somehow both young and old at the same time.
It's like a cricket whose skin hasn't fully mulched off yet. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good comparison. Okay, Andreas, you sent me this earlier. I haven't read anything about it yet, but from what I've seen, this is the Epstein accuser. All right,
Virginia Guthrie, right?
Who just got hit by a bus.
Dude, wait, before any of that, have you guys seen any of the Snow White reviews sung by AI?
Done by AI. No.
Oh, if you have not, okay. I really think
the 7 virtue signals. Yeah.
There's this fucking chorus where they go mirror mirror on the wall, and it's like the most fire fucking part of the song. It's like a legitimately awesome song, but it's just AI singing the funniest comments from Snow White, the trailer.
Oh, the comment, comment song. Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, that one's fantastic.
Okay, there's like 4 of them, and they all have millions of views. Like that movie generated some cool shit, but it wasn't the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm grateful for it because of all my homies that have a channel that's dedicated to culture, and they all talk about it. And it feels like everyone has essentially seen what they wanted to from Snow White via all of the homies, instead of actually going to see the movie and giving Disney money, they gave everyone else money. And, so
that movie was an epic bomb.
Did you see it? Though?
No, but I saw some CGI of the dwarves, and it just
I gotta download it. Well, you know that they had real dwarves, and they had to fire the dwarves to do the CGI dwarves. And then
thanks, Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage was like, "Why didn't you hire me?" Yeah, everything.
Peter Dinklage said that they lived in caves, but they live in like the nicest cottage ever.
Right.
Like,
and they owned the mine.
And they owned the mine, which
they were rich.
They were so rich. They had it so good.
Dude, those original dwarves were freaking rolling in money. They had zero problems. They basically owned that forest.
Yeah, and they weren't douchebags. They didn't like become different because they had a lot of money. They still lived like a nice, modest life, just having a good time. They still grinded their fingers to dust. It's actually a great story.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's
Thanks a lot,
true.
Peter.
I
Peter
really
Dinklage.
I don't know how deep of a conspiracy theorist I could become, but like one of my conspiracy theories is that Disney just made this movie terrible on purpose so they can finally
don't
put
think
to
so.
bed wokeness, because they can be like, look, we tried it, it didn't work, people didn't like it, now we're gonna
You
look at the
keep
money.
saying that, and every
hoping
single
to God-
time. No.
I don't
Every
agree,
single
no.
time there's a bomb, that's the angle you choose, and eventually you're gonna be right. And it's like
Hope
you're gonna
to
be like,
God.
see, ha ha, and it's like, no, dude, you can't keep saying it. All right.
God,
No, they
did
did
you
it
know that-
themselves over and over.
Did you ever see there was a cool Snow White sequel with woke feminism, and it was called Happily Ever After. I sent it at some point in the base AF. Did you see that cartoon from like 10 years ago, 20 years ago?
No,
Dude,
but
it's like-
I
it's like
heard of
30
it.
years ago.
It's like Pixar or no? Is it?
No, this was made by like the same guy who made He-Man, I think. It's like Filmation.
Which
or
He-Man?
something
Which
like that.
He-Man?
The original. This is
Dolph
made like
Lundgren?
This is made like 1989. I'm talking about the cartoon, like Filmation, Lou Schlesinger people. And it has like Snow White goes to see the dwarves again, but the dwarves aren't there because they moved to a new mine and they left it to their 7 cousins, the dwarf elves, or these chicks.
7
they're-
cousins.
But it's like, it's good. It's like compared to what they've given us, they already did it right 30 years ago. Why couldn't they do it like this, right? Where there's still like a female character who has electric magic powers. It's not quite a Peggy Sue though, because she can't control her emotions, therefore she can't control her powers. They already did everything they needed to do. I just don't understand why they keep trying. And it just felt like I didn't see the whole movie yet because I don't want to pay for it. I was just trying to. I hope someone is willing to go into that theater and film it so I can watch a cam version or something. But it's like they just
Wait, you want to
ruined
see
it.
it? You want to watch
I
it?
desperately want to see how bad it is and why it's the way it is.
I can
It sounds like
understand
they
from like a sick curiosity standpoint.
I'm
Like,
a
just
pretty
what the
sick-
fuck
I'm
are we
sick
dealing
of
with
it.
here?
Oh,
You know?
Yeah.
Well,
But it's-
watching
everyone's-
bad movies and laughing at them has been a pastime for a long time, right? So
Yeah, sure.
I get
it. Everyone says that who has seen it that they
Yo,
have
what's up,
a bunch of
real quick,
unfinished
real quick.
ideas.
Nihilus in chat. Is that who I think it is? Is that who I
Nihilus?
think it is? Thank you for them 5 gifted memberships. That is absolutely huge. If you got a gift membership from the one and only Nihilus, give him a thanks.
He
Appreciate
eats
that.
planets in the lore. You know
Does he
that, right,
really?
Andreas? Yeah, he literally consumes all the
Wow,
life of
I didn't know
planets.
that. I don't know anything about Nihilus other
Magical
than
Republic
it's from like way
KOTOR 2.
before. Yeah,
KOTOR 2.
but timeline in the world of Star Wars, it's like long before the
4,000 years before the Battle of
6
Yavin.
movies.
He has
Yeah.
an amazing popularity in the world of Star Wars for not being in a movie, not being in a TV show. He's literally just the villain in the sequel of one of the games. And like,
Such a good game.
know this character. Like when I go to Comic-Con with Smee and he does do the Nihilus,
Yeah,
you'd be
yeah.
surprised how many people will walk past me like I'm not even fucking there and go Nihilus, like at least
Cool.
10 times every time. There's like hardcore Nihilus support. They should make a movie for him. Honestly, the fans would go crazy because they really love that character.
No, don't give him ideas. They'll ruin him.
That's true.
But now with AI,
Not until
like,
Disney gives up on it, you
Right.
know.
with AI,
Or I
everyone
mean,
should make their own movie.
according to Andreas here, if you didn't know, Snow White is actually what their attempt to end woke. See, we tried it. Now we're gonna go back. Right, Andreas? That's where you
I hope
you
to
were
God. I hope
rudely
to
cut
God.
off by the host of the show.
I think he's wrong on that, Andreas. I don't think that's the case. I think they're so removed from reality that they're doing whatever, and
Well,
it's like the
you
worst
can't-
decisions every time. It's
I
Can't
agree.
be that removed from reality and still be a business. So at a certain point, something's got to
No, they're firmly connected in their reality, and their demands are to have everyone else affirm their reality because their reality is so small and it's a bubble and deep down they know that it's not real. That's why they're so desperate to attack anyone that pokes holes in it because it like shines a light on them and it makes them like have to reaffirm and face their own delusion because deep down every trans woman out there knows they're actually a man. And same with the trans women. They know they're actually, or trans men, whatever the fuck. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know, it's like
and
they
Lord
all know.
Farquaad knows that he is Snow White.
Correct. Yes.
Or
Deep
vice
down.
versa. Or vice versa.
Yes.
Snow White
That
knows.
haircut. looked so bad
What was
on
that
her.
haircut? Yeah, like
It's
they didn't do her any
seriously just the
favors. It was like,
worst.
yeah,
No.
That's true
That
too.
was
I feel
weird.
like they made these are the kinds of things that make my head spin. It's like because she's not. I mean, if you shave her back, she looks okay in some of the videos where she's walking
If you
around.
shave her back,
It's only the movie that she looks this terrible, right? They made her look as bad
well, I
as
mean,
possible for that movie.
she's not ugly.
She's not ugly at all.
There is
However,
this
Right.
weird
when you're gonna make the
fascination
evil
with
queen,
the wide eyes. I don't understand what's up with Hollywood and that because
Predators.
the girl Holly something who played Mermaid, and then
oh right, the mermaid.
the Queen's Gambit girl, the girl with the other girl. There's a
Like a
few like
fish.
women that are just like in all these movies with wide set eyes, and it's just they look kind of alien like.
Maybe Hollywood has been infiltrated by hybrids.
That's
just saying.
just the only
Lizard
truth.
people.
Could be lizard
Right.
people, dude. I'm just saying. They desecrated Snow White, yo. Like that is literally what birthed Disney. It is the original princess. Like, if there's one thing you really shouldn't fuck with, it's that
It
one.
is.
And they
I know.
absolutely skadooshed their own. Like, imagine Walt Disney seeing that. He'd be like, what
Right.
the fuck?
I hope he doesn't. I hope he
And
He
then
doesn't
freeze
see
him.
it.
They tell him not to watch that when he gets out. Yeah.
just
one of
burns it. Shark
one of the-
people, yes, Nihilus.
Dude, you gotta be shark people.
That's the thing.
we
It's just like a
will
fish.
we will be
'Cause
shark
like
people.
predators can stare directly ahead of them, but prey have one eye on either
Rabbits.
side. Yeah, so
Well,
I
That's
think
right.
this-
Like those
Rabbits
birdie.
have a full 360. They could just stay still and they could see movement everywhere. Yeah.
Meanwhile, cats' ears can like 360 rotate to any sound they hear. Like
It
a
is pretty
freaking
cool to
radar.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one,
Yeah.
just boop.
It's
Well,
so
I hear
crazy.
something. Is it worth investigating? No.
Yeah.
The vestige says if
Awesome.
Disney made it, and now it could end Disney. I think that it won't end Disney. That's the thing. It brings down the price of the stock. We were talking about this with the diet. Was it the Bud Light, right? And BlackRock buying stock and USAID money to get the 700,000 Disney Plus accounts. Something has to give at this point.
Yeah.
We're at the point where
Or
something-
Ubisoft, Tencent buying them, and Tank are probably pushing DEI to drop that stock to buy out Ubisoft to then own the property and then end DEI and make it a profitable company again.
It just seems like that's the most. I mean, that at least is the most logical thing. Again, we can't accuse these people of being logical, but it does feel like it.
There's no logic in Snow White. I kind of want to see it out of a sick curiosity.
Everyone, exactly, and everyone
I'll sail
says,
the high seas. I love being a pirate. I will happily
Mhm.
watch it eventually when I finally have run out of good things to see.
"Oh my god!"
I'll be
Well,
honest, I doubt I'll ever watch the movie. I don't really have any interest.
Yeah.
I don't even want to see it out of curiosity. Like I don't. I don't.
That's the
nothing.
thing. Everyone says it has a bunch of roads that lead nowhere. There's a bunch of plot starts that they just said, you know what, we better not do this, and then they just it's just a haphazard mess of ideas that lead nowhere. They get
Sounds like
canceled.
everything Disney's put out in the past
Yeah.
decade.
Right.
Right?
What about Andor season 2? Everyone hyped up Andor season
Never
1.
I
saw
didn't do
Andor.
Andor season 1. I don't know. I can't. I just can't.
Yeah,
bring
I've never
myself to.
seen it.
The thing
The
is, if
last
you have-
Star Wars thing. Hold on, wait. The last Star Wars thing that I watched was with you, Caul.
Oh,
and it was Book of Boba,
That was
season
fun
one.
to watch, even though it was
It
bad.
was fun to hate on, though.
Yeah.
It's like it was fun to watch, but at the same time, it's because we were watching together, making fun of it. But if I was
Yeah.
watching it by myself and I liked Boba Fett a lot, I would be devastated. I'd be
That's
like,
how I
"What the
felt.
fuck?"
That's what I was
It's like,
thinking.
well, I do have some silver linings, though. No, not it's wrong term, but a bright future. I think, like Amazon, the basically the Catherine, what's her name in Disney?
Kathleen Kennedy.
Kathleen Kennedy. Thank you.
Mm.
The Kathleen Kennedy of Amazon just got fired, and Wheel of Time
Really?
they 100% destroyed. Everyone's talking about Rings of Power. I'd never got into like the similarity or similar.
Yeah, that big weird
Yeah, that
by
one. You
Tolkien,
know,
yeah.
I never read that, and so I don't know like the lore of the prehistory. But they butchered
Kathleen
that.
Kennedy didn't
But
really
the Wheel of
step down.
Time equally got. She didn't step down. She's not going to step down. That's
She'll never
always
step
been
down.
her that keeps coming. She's going
Right.
to die in that position.
That's what she said.
I'm talking about the girl that here. Let me bring it up because Nerdrotic just posted about it. It said nature's healing, and I'm like, Oh shit! Does that mean that like maybe Netflix or, excuse me, maybe we're gonna have some light for the Rings of Power, Amazon's Wheel of Time, which I would love for the Wheel of Time to be just completely recast. In fact, bring back Matt. He was the only character that I actually felt fit the vibe, and he's the only character the actor left. The actor was like, "Fuck this," and rightly so, because they were shitting all over Robert Jordan's work, and it's so annoying. Let me see.
It sounds like they fucked that show up.
Oh,
Pretty bad.
100%, dude. Just like Rings of Power. I mean, Amazon. Here it is. Jennifer Salke. I'll just do this because it's easier.
She got fired.
Head. Not
She
even
stepped
that.
down, allegedly.
It was her position was just eliminated.
Hmm.
So she didn't get fired, but the company removed her position.
Right. So
it was
Ring of Power is not going to happen.
Damn. Like
we don't need that position anymore. No one needs it.
Yeah.
It's
like, oh. Here, the quote is, "She will not be replaced, with the head of the studio role eliminated in a streamlined new structure." That's according
I like
to
that word,
Nerdrotic.
streamlined. We're smooth that over.
We're just streamlining this situation.
Yeah, that's a hilarious
I think, though,
word choice.
Within 6 months, because you got the Haskell and all the new chipsets that are coming out, that you're going to be seeing more and more people just making the media that they've always wanted to see anyway.
There it is.
There's just no room for these studios.
I'll give you an example. Let me show you something. This a friend of mine just sent me this.
It's coming.
Give me 1 second. I just
I feel like that. I feel like my image is like the IRL Cannon Cove. Am I right?
It feels like a Windows XP.
I can see that.
I feel like I'm watching a Windows XP laptop. It's nice.
I can see that.
Beautiful, honestly.
Okay, this I'm just gonna pop me here so I can do this real quick. This is about a music production AI that people are using to produce their music, and it's just like you can have it create audio, vocals, drums, guitar solos. And they call it a chain of thought model, so that it kind of flows with, like, if for musicians who write music, that makes sense. That's kind of how I write music, a chain of thought. It's a good way of putting it, actually. But they call it that's their chain of thought model. So it follows the way that you add things to it. So you start with a reference track, or just type your idea, pick your vocals, use preset, or upload your own. Click generate and let it fill the entire song out. And I've listened to a couple examples, and it's like, it's not necessarily music that I would like, but it's also not my style of music. You know what I mean? The examples that it showed. And I just felt like that's kind of crazy. Like, I wonder, I mean, I like, let me try it. Let me see if it actually gives me what I want to hear. Right. I've never worked with an actual producer. One time I did, to create my demo, which I have, and I've never done anything with. It's just, I have like 100 CDs sitting behind me in a spool, and I just never did anything with it because I didn't really like it. I didn't think that it was what I wanted to hear. So, like, is this like AI? I mean, I say this as one example, but you brought up a great point. People are making the media that they want to see. Did you see the Ghibli Lord of the Rings trailer?
Ghibli things, yeah.
There's a trailer in the Ghibli anime.
Yes, I'm gonna send it. I'm sending it to you, dude, right now.
I've seen a lot of Ghibli.
I'm gonna just play it right here. They literally did the trailer to Lord of the Rings in like perfect.
What?
In Studio Ghibli using AI. Look at this.
I just made this. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm listening to it. It's I don't have the audio shared, but
it's the cool ass music.
It's actually, you know what? Wait.
But obviously, we could use AI to make new music for it.
Wait.
It could be a reggae version. Who cares?
There is. Here it is. Look. A 1-for-1.
Wow. It didn't do the swoosh as well, though, when the ring swooshed in the water.
Isn't that crazy?
That's really
Like, it's
good, though.
not exactly the same, right? You would
But
think
all the
that
better.
a computer, like you feed it something that it would make exactly the same thing in just cartoon form, but you can see that it's actually altered. It is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is wild. It's really good,
Yeah, dude.
honestly. Wow.
It's so good.
You can have like
Saruman, yo, that's crazy.
Disney Pixar style cartoons like Cars about shoes, you know, like anything you want your kid to see,
So
you'll
good.
be able to make it in a half hour. And this is happening so fast, and this is today, so wait till tomorrow. Like we're
I
not
know.
gonna rely
No,
on
not
these
wait for
companies.
tomorrow. Wait until the Majora one, the new chip, the new processing chip that exists in superposition. That is not ones and zeros. That slowly calculates everything in ones and zeros. The new one is 0 and 1 at the same time. It calculates everything at the same time, and they're saying that there's an article I read about it that's saying that it's actually proof of another universe because it pulls from all different possibilities at once, and to be able to do that, it needs to be able to connect with all the different universes that have all the different possibilities. And it's like, what the fuck? Like,
Dude, this is how we're gonna get the Szechuan sauce back from McDonald's, you know? Like, this is good.
or did it really exist ever?
Oh, it did. Do you not remember? I'm sorry. I used to eat
I'm just
McDonald's in
making a joke.
1997. I'm sorry. It's
It
passionate.
was a joke. Clearly, wow.
Szechuan sauce.
Dude,
Szechuan.
Mulan. Oh, it's real, bro.
That's when that's the one that Rick and Morty is always talking about, right?
It's real. I remember feeling like, and it's so. Oh god, that was a good year. That was good. That was everything about 1998 was good. I'm sorry.
When you think about fast food and like the Happy Meals or like the things you could get, what's the first one that comes to your mind?
Oh, the Ghost movie on
The toys
videotape.
or
Yeah, the toys of any just the one that you always imagine, like first one that goes to your mind. For me, it's
Ooh.
the
I don't
Goof
remember.
Troop Burger King, the Goof Troop Burger King ones with Goofy.
That's Burger King though. The first one,
Yeah.
McDonald's for me would be
don't-
the
I
Splash
don't
Mountain. I had the
any
Splash
idea.
Mountain thing that you could look through and you could see down.
I
And
bet
also
Garrett.
the
I
Batman.
bet Garrett would pick Batman Forever. The
That
cups.
was not
Yeah.
Batman Forever, but the Batman 1996, the Batman movie for McDonald's had like the cool Two-Face car. Oh,
That's
I love
Batman
all that
Forever.
stuff.
That's Batman Forever.
Yeah, is
Speaking
it?
of Garrett,
Okay.
wait, I'm gonna ask him if I can keep talking. I'm gonna
It is
ask.
1995. Batman Forever was 1995. God, we're
Yeah.
so old, bro. How is this possible?
Dude,
That was a good movie.
those were the shit. Yeah, for me it was
Those were the
Goof Troop.
days.
I don't know. I love those.
We're
I guess I
Goof
just like Goof
Troop,
Troop.
and we're always
tell you
safe
that.
together.
Mhm. Yeah, good.
Vintage
We're Goof Troop.
80s McDonald's Happy Meal toys.
McNuggets ones were cool too. The Halloween McNuggets. Do you remember those? Where the McNuggets dress up? in
Oh
costumes?
yes, all
That
different
was
outfits.
legendary.
That was legendary. Yes, that was good stuff. And the Beanie Babies. I think I remember
really
Beanie Baby
don't-
lines. Lines for Beanie Babies was a thing. But I had the Disneyland ride ones, and you had all these pictures you could look through. And so now they're really important to me. But I remember wanting to get inside of there to see what was inside that was making it possible to be in Splash Mountain. And now you can't go on Splash Mountain anymore. They've taken it from us, right?
I remember, dude. I was there at Disneyland when they were taking it down, and I was like, "Son of a bitch!"
Really?
Wow. Yeah, I saw it going down. Part of my childhood died because I went on that ride as a kid all the time.
I used to,
Wow.
one day,
Out, huh? Okay.
I used to have that passport, Disneyland passport, so you could go any day of the year as much as you wanted. I went to Disneyland and got on the Splash Mountain one time. It's like, can I just stay on this? Like, yeah, sure. Again, and I just went around and like, can I just do it again? And like, yeah, sure. Like, can I just stay on here as long as I want? Like, yeah, it was fine. And they just had me sitting in the freaking ride. I stayed in that for a full day one time. I just Splash Mountain.
I would
Just over and over and over.
That ride scared the shit out of me the first time I went as a kid because that last one where you're going up, and you see the whole park. Yeah, as a kid, the shit was scary.
Dude.
Yeah. Now it was fun. I can't say it is anymore because
the Princess and the Frog thing isn't quite the same, bro. I don't know.
There is a amusement park in where what city did I see that in?
Tokyo?
No, Gothenburg. It's not too far from me, but they're in between my in-laws' house. They live about an hour away. There is a kids park. It's like a kid, it's for kids, and there's no roller coasters, but there's a bunch of water slides. And I'm like, and there's also like 5 different go-kart places that you can, like, as we drive to their house, you see the go-karts. So like,
Sweet.
I know it's only a matter of time before my son goes,
What's that?
hey,
Why aren't you taking me on all these jets?
What is that? Is that a water slide? Are those little freaking cars that we can drive?
What have
I
you
see
been
other
keeping
kids
from me?
driving.
Yeah.
Not keeping. I'm be like, as soon as you're of age, son. Like, hell yeah. I've never driven a go-kart myself.
No,
It's
really?
fun.
I know. I'm devastated. I want to. And I see them and I'm like, I'm biding my time. It's like, it's fine. I can wait. I can wait now. It's been 41 years. It's fine. I can wait a couple
seems
more
like
years.
your thing, like it's something you would love, but also you're
Yeah.
tall. You're tall, so there's like the little car. I don't know
Yeah.
how your knees will fit.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll hang them out the front. I don't think they'd like that. Yeah.
We all agree Waterworld's the shit, right?
I
The
love
movie?
that movie
Yeah,
so
of course.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
know who
don't know.
doesn't?
Do people think it's not a good movie?
Some
Ian
people really
Crossland.
rag on
Wait,
it because it
Ian
was a huge
Crossland hates
financial
that
flop.
movie.
He's
I
wrong.
made Ian watch
Why?
it. I know
He's
he's
wrong.
Why
wrong.
does he hate it?
I showed it to him in the rainforest in Peru, and like he just wasn't in the like vibe for it. I don't know.
Dude, he's like a pirate mermaid. It doesn't get much
Yeah.
more badass than that. He can swim around and fucking.
Well, he a pirate.
shoot
Yeah, pirate
people.
mermaid. Yeah, basically,
What a
that's true.
badass.
Yeah.
Dead feet. Yeah, totally. And it
you
ends
know,
up,
would you
like,
know
in
what the
fall.
IMDb rating is? I have it pulled up.
I'm gonna guess.
2 out
I'm
of
gonna
10.
say 7.2.
2.
Andreas.
2.3.
2.3. Come
Yeah,
on.
it's hated. It's hated.
It's not
It's
so
scorned.
white, bro. It's
I
not
like
so
it.
Chat,
white.
don't look it up, chat. Don't look it up. I have the number.
I said
What do you think it
7.2.
is, chat? What do you think it is? Well, I'm gonna wait a second. I'm gonna read these in Rumble, catch up Rumble. Long Walks Music for Two says, speaking of music, thanks for the feedback over on my cover on Locals. I'm always looking for feedback so I can get more adequate. Should I release a couple of originals or just covers till the album? I don't know. It's tough to say, man. Yeah. If you have an original that you think is worth putting out as a single, you should do that. Why not? Right?
Hell yeah.
Hype people up. Okay, 7.4,
You know-
5, 5.6, 6.9. V6 Neon for 1 says, nice to see you. Nice to see you, Caul. How long have you how long till you leave California? Oh, I posted in Locals and Discord a nice vid by Doug Tenapple regarding Doge finding and proving over 5 million illegals voted in the US in
Yeah.
2025.
That's why
I saw
you
that.
don't leave.
Yeah, I haven't watched that yet.
Once they put voter ID in California, it's gonna go so red. Like, Reagan came from California.
So
It's-
true.
We're just gonna go
California-
right back to who we were.
Dude, Caul, Newsom got recalled. For
Oh,
sure.
yeah. I
I
tried
don't
to
think
help
he
with
ever
that,
got voted
yeah.
in
I
the
know.
first place. Like if you really think
Probably.
about it.
That's
Yeah.
a good point.
I really doubt
California
it,
is
man. I
red.
really doubt it.
Everyone I know in Cali is red.
Even if they weren't red that in California, outside of the one person that I met when I filmed Garrett talking to random people at the Chinese theater who randomly was like, I love Gavin Newsom. I don't know if you've seen
He's
that
so
video.
attractive, that woman.
Yeah.
I can't believe she said that.
Well, women
She
do
said
like
I had to-
psychopaths.
I had to keep my face straight. Like you
I
literally have
know,
no
dude.
reason. Okay,
Women-
whatever. I'm gonna be
Women
professional.
marry
God,
guys.
these people
women marry,
vote.
murderers in prison over those pen pal letters. I'm not
Yeah,
surprised that some
psychotic
women
energy.
find psychotic people attractive, but
It's so true.
California deserves better, man. Like no matter where you sit in California, I think we can all admit it's run like shit and it's terrible. It's been taken advantage of and squeezed dry. It's fucked up.
Dude, even Bill Maher
100%.
was like heckling Gavin Newsom recently. He's like, dude, why won't you let me do my roof? What are you like? Why are you saying these things when you were the poster boy for all the other stuff? Why are you arresting teachers who are trying to inform the parents that these kids are being chemically castrated? Dude, the
Crazy.
Texas father guy. Remember the Texas father with the baby?
Yeah, man. His kid's like, his kid turned 2, and the mom said, I don't love you if you're not a girl. And
Dude,
the boy
and it's a
would
twin.
act the boy would act like a girl only around his mother. Only.
What the
Everyone else,
fuck?
he was just a boy, but around the mother. And the dad asked him, like, why do you do that? And the kid said to his dad, like, she won't love me if I'm not a girl. And it's like, that's
So,
psychotic.
straight up.
Like
And
that
especially she has another
she should
son.
lose all rights. But California is like 100% on her side. And she works for, what is her position? She works for like,
She's a podiatrist, right?
is that what it is? I was going to say like a psychiatrist or something, like a pediatrician, something
Yeah,
in
for
that
kids.
world. And she used her position to convince like the state to take because the guy went to Texas.
They were
with the
from
kid.
Texas originally.
Oh, and she took the kid to California, and California basically is a sanctuary for her and is protecting her now. And it's like that. Fuck that, dude. That's insanity.
After he won I remember seeing the story like years ago. He won with the kid in Texas, so she left Texas
and got it completely banned in Texas.
Yeah.
Also, like it was a huge W for this dad, and then like the mom. Yeah, poor little baby. I agree 100%. It's insane. It's
he's
psychotic.
like 8 now, too. The kid's like 8, and they're trying, or he's almost 8, and they want to chemically castrate him in California.
Yeah,
dad pay for it.
They want to pay for it.
They want to jail the dad now.
No, they are trying to jail him. They're like legitimately. I think there's a warrant out for his arrest. I saw an interview where he was talking about like he said, "I'm going to prison for this," and I was like, "What? Like that's insane."
You know
it's
what? This
crazy.
The biggest lesson from this is be very careful who you decide to
have a child
with. Yeah, man.
100%. 100%.
Once that's done, that's a done deal, bro.
Yeah.
Go back.
I'm hoping for federal executive orders to matter here. It seems like this is one of those few circumstances where the federal government needs to step in and get involved with states, because
maybe.
I mean, really, like this is something I feel like Trump should actually weigh in on this one. You know, like
that's a good point.
It's crazy, you know.
I mean, I feel like making voter ID a federal law is so important that will have a trickle down effect that will it's the same as getting rid of USAID. It's with among the same level of just you cut USAID was one leg of the left. This is the other leg. As soon as they need voter ID and like everyone has to prove they're a citizen, it's just like that's it. They don't have any more power, and suddenly America's fully red, which is just like American to me. I feel like most Americans are red. They don't know it.
Well, I think
one sec. V6 Neon says for one, a trip to the Alps as a school trip, we went to a course down the side of a mountain. The carts were gravity and only had a handbrake on a slalom half concrete tube. Teacher behind, total brake failure. Holy shit. I've seen those and they look really, really fun. Diana Francisco for 5 says it's good to have Caul and Andreas back with us. Love you, chat. Have a blessed week. Thank you very much,
Diana.
Yeah.
Great to see you. Okay, Waterworld got a 6.3.
I was close.
Better than expected by a lot, actually.
Better than you expected by a lot, right?
But it deserves.
I would have given it a 7.8.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the 7s is acceptable to me.
It aged well though. For 95, all practical effects, like explosions.
They had to double
Mad Max on the water, kind of. Basically.
They had to double their budget because they bought all the stuff and there was a tsunami. They had all the stuff floating, all the films, all the camera, and it all floated out to sea. So they had to buy it all again because they lost all of the film.
So you're telling me somewhere out there.
Also, a lot of people died.
Just floating out there. Wait, people died making that movie too?
Right, Andreas, back me up on that. Didn't a bunch of stunt people get killed on the? What are they? The underwater. Yeah.
There was a bunch of there's a lot of tragedy in that, and they lost half of the script they couldn't film, but they also didn't finish writing the script when they went out there. They're like, well, we'll just figure it out when we get out there, which you should never do.
You should never do that. Star Wars is a great example. Disney Star Wars. Make sure you have it written down first.
Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah, and make sure it's cohesive.
Yeah.
Between especially if you do 3 movies, make sure they flow together. I'm late. Have you seen the Ashley St. Clair video? I thought she disappeared from the internet when she revealed she was one of Elon's baby mamas. What is the video about? I'm curious. Not that it really matters to me because
she sold her Tesla.
I'm happily married, and my wife and I have a great relationship to show our son, and it's going to be great for my son because he sees two parents in love that are going to raise him together. And that's something that she, in fact, preached for a long time. I find it very interesting that suddenly she now is a single parent. I hate hoes with the name Ashley. Me too, Ashley. Don't we all? but you more than most. V69 for one says she was screaming most of the way down. My cart was used to hold her back from going too fast off course. She was in her 50s and you probably saved her life, V6. I'm not joking. You probably saved her life. She probably could have gotten killed had you not slowed her down.
I
Or
agree with
someone slowed her down. You've seen those courses, right?
Yeah.
They look awesome, but like imagine losing your brake. Like that's crazy. Okay, Andreas, just I'll just pop up. I'll pop up your Lord of the. I'm gonna read it. You're arguing. Never mind. You're arguing with people in chat. I don't care.
Sorry. The goths were cool, bro. The goths are not bad people. They didn't wear black.
Goth
they wore
chicks?
pink.
We're talking about goth chicks?
Someone just said the goths are the new trans. And like, that's not fair because the trans were the Romans. The Romans were into trans and queer culture. The goths were periwinkle and mustard, but they weren't trans.
Okay. I'm in favor of hot goth chicks.
Me too. Same. I've got confirmation from the one and only Quarter Black Garrett, who sadly isn't with us, but it's because he's doing something really cool with his dad right now.
That's awesome.
And that is trying to get his brand new car started. Look at this freaking thing.
Dude, pretty sweet.
He tweeted like a week ago.
I remember
picture of this in the garage. He was like, "Is this a good business decision, chat?" And I was like, "Oh shit." I thought he had like a Dodge Charger already though. Didn't he have like a yellow one? I wonder if he sold it. But anyway, he bought this old Mustang. It looks like I don't know, like an early 80s. I don't think this is a 70s, is it? I actually don't know. I don't think he even said. But he's working with his dad, 60s. You know? It does look 60s? Okay. Chat, do you know?
Like
60s. Mustang? So before, it looks 60s. Oh, cool.
Is it 68 or 64 maybe? 60,
I'm not sure.
60, I think. I'm going to guess 68, but he'll
Mustang, I told him to get it. It's a 64, 65. Okay. Diana saw that chat also. It's old and it's cool. He hasn't gotten it to work yet. But yeah, I don't know. That's cool. Just working with his dad, to get it fixed. I can't wait for that energy,
Dude,
fixing things with my son. He's gonna find the Vespa in the garage eventually and be like, Dad, what's this Vespa doing in here? It's funny. When I was 8, I discovered it. Actually, I probably was younger. I might have been 6. I don't remember when I first found it, but I found it. And then I found the key, and then I took it out, and no one knew. I was driving this Vespa around as like a 6-year-old around my grandparents' house. No, I would do it all the time. And then a cop came, and I remember it so vividly. I was coming around out of there. They were on a corner of this street, and I was coming past their house, and the cop came past me. We like drove past each other. And I'm like I might have been 7 at the time. And I'm like a little 7-year-old on a Vespa, obviously tiny, like a 7-year-old on a Vespa, like, okay, that kid should not be on that Vespa. And I could see the cop like look at me and be like, and he was like, he gave me the finger, like, like obviously like stop, and he was there for me. Like someone, I think, called the police to like have them come and like, hey, there's a little kid driving around in a Vespa.
Narc.
And I freaking just slammed the freaking gas, and like see, he was like trying to turn around, but I took a left, and because I knew that he would chase me, and I knew that I was still on the block connected to my grandparents' house, I went through the middle because I knew like the trees, I knew like the bushes, and they didn't have fences, so I like weaved through the trees in the middle of the block right into the garage, or it was in the back shed. I went right into the back shed and turned it off, and I stayed there for like an hour and a half. It didn't come out. I just like, I'm not coming out. And then
you gotta lay low for a bit. Yeah,
exactly. And then like finally, I just like island, right? I sprinted into the house, and I didn't see the cop, but I just was like, yeah, it was. Man, that's my story. The first time I almost got hit by the law. It's funny. Things like that have actually happened multiple times in my life too. There was another time where I was walking with 4 of my friends in Chicago, and it was July 4th, and it was like 2 a.m, and me and my friends, we had like a couple cakes, the firework cakes, that basically just like 16 mortars in one. And we had like little firecrackers, Chinese firecrackers. We went into this middle of this school field. So it was like a soccer field. So it was pretty big. And we went right in the center of it and put the cake down. We were, no houses near it. So we were fine. We lit it off. And the very first one shot up, but it bounced the cake sideways. And then the cake started bouncing and shooting fireworks at the houses. It didn't hit the houses, but they were like, it was like, boom. So it was shooting at the houses and exploding near the houses. And we were running. We were like, oh, shit. Like, no way. Like, we weren't hitting the houses, but we were like, oh, we should probably get out of here. So we were all walking. We kind of ran up the street, ran like a block away. And then we were just like walking. And we didn't think about it, but we were lighting firecrackers and just kind of throwing them and whatever. We were having a fun time. But my friend lit a firecracker and he turned to throw it. And we all turned in slow motion to like turn and watch him throw it. And he turned to throw it and he threw it and it landed like right in front of the cop car that was right behind us. And his lights started flashing and the firecrackers went off and we just freaking all took off in all directions. And I guess one of my friends, they decided to chase because he went in the direction that they were able to like see him.
God.
Where all of us were able to like get into the bushes and like.
And he was sacrificed.
They chased him for like freaking 2 hours. They were going through different neighborhoods. Like he said, they would catch him, but then or like see him and then like try to run after him, but he sprinted into another block, backyards, and then he would like dip to a couple backyards, but they were like scoping the neighborhood, and then they'd see him again, and they would mobilize, and then he would sprint to another couple neighborhoods, and he did that all the way back to his house, and he lived like 1.5 miles, 2 miles from where we were, so it was crazy. Man, I feel bad for that. That's a funny story. I wonder if he remembers that. I know he remembers that.
I can't believe police do that. It's like, you feel like you spend your life either trying to do good for the community or like stop crime, and then you put that much energy into something that's so useless and not helping anybody. I don't know. Like, we're going to talk to that kid. It's probably because they're jealous because they weren't cool when they were young.
Well, no, I mean, we probably scared the shit out of a bunch of people that maybe woke them up, that popping like fireworks right in front of their yard. Like their dogs are probably yapping. Like I'm sure they got a lot of calls about us. That cake, like, it was pretty crazy looking.
You're probably like veterans from the Korean War that were like, "Oh my God, it's happening again!" Yeah.
I just shot my wife. Yeah, sorry, that was a dark turn. Anyway, B69 says the French used to airdrop 2 military with Vespas with anti-tank and RPG. They could launch it while attached to the scooter, but imagine riding bitch seat on that boom scooter. Those World War II like Vespa motorcycle with the little freaking suicide pod. Those things are badass. Like the one in Band of Brothers where they get in trouble when they do like a joyride in like, I don't know, episode 6 or 7 or something. And then the first guy comes back and he's like, "Oh, I saw the..." Anyway, I love Band of Brothers. I've seen it way too many times. Have you guys seen Band of Brothers?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, good.
I love it too.
Good. It's like required viewing. It's so good.
I agree.
Okay, let's get to the subject of the. Andreas, I want to talk about this, but I feel like it's more of a subject for like another day. You want to come back, on Tuesday or Wednesday or something? Okay.
Yeah, cool. I just like the school bus.
I do want to talk to you about it.
But we'll talk about it soon. Yeah.
So this article is so freaking stupid. I'm just like, I saw the headline, and I'm just like, I can't believe this is real. This is an actual headline from PC Gamer.
Oh God.
Let me just pop this up. Hold on. Okay. If you've noticed, the world of Inzoi is eerily heterosexual.
Eerily.
Don't fret. The distinct lack of gay Zois is a known issue.
What an
It's
issue?
a real article from PC Gamer.
Written by Justin
Eerily
Wagner.
heterosexual. Now, we talked about this earlier in the episode. All of us, every single one of us, passed through the gates of their mother. Wow, C-section. We all eerily came from heterosexuality, essentially. Thank you.
Or
You're
alien
welcome.
hybrids.
Okay, or you're right. Caul. Sorry, or alien hybrids. Right.
Never know.
Blatant heterophobia. You know what? It's funny. I've never even heard the term. You know why? Because no one gives a shit. No one cares.
Well,
right?
If heterophobe here, Justin Wagner, the heterophobe,
Well, this line, we all laugh at this shit. This is funny. This is something that we look at and go, huh, these people are psychotic. That this is the line they go with, eerily heterosexual. Like, it's psychotic. Like, they had originally, they only had boy and girl. And the small, tiny little faction of people that, let's be real, are actually probably going to play this game. Like this, it seems like it's some sort of.
I can't wait to play this game. I've been waiting to play this game for like 4
Sims?
years.
Like, what is it? I don't know what type of game.
It's way cooler than The Sims. It's about this crazy, evil devil god Psycat that's created this world that everyone lives in. So it's basically The Sims, but controlled by this demon god cat thing. And it looks incredible. It's a Korean game though. And so the Koreans, they don't really care about your transgendered American Western values, and they're not selling this game to do that. It's basically because The Sims itself has degenerated. I don't know if you looked into The Sims in a while, but you either have the normie basic version of The Sims that they release and mods, right? You have the basement mod or whatever they call it, where you can have your Sims be doing orgies and addicted to drugs and selling all this crack. That's the way they get around it now. The way they get around what they release in a game is that the people, I'm convinced, the people that are making the game are making the mods. And they're like, oh, well, you just have to download the mod to have all the sick stuff that we don't want the kids to see. We don't want the parents to know that we're putting it out there, but the kids can easily get the stuff. And then now here you got a game made by the Koreans who are like, we don't really want that. We want a game that's a little bit more, advanced, developed, and fully iterated. That's everything you want. And wouldn't you know it, it doesn't have transgender social value. It's not about that. It's about the technical proficiency of the game, because The Sims is like 20-year-old technology. And here's a game that it looks really good. It's really beefy. It takes a 4090 to play right, but it's going to have so many cool things that can happen because it's all about the synchronistic personal relationship stuff that people like in The Sims, right? So that's
everything everything you're saying proves what I suspected.
100%.
The blue-haired, non-binary, they, them, she, he's, whatever the hell they want to force everybody else to call them, are gonna love this type of game. This is the game that they what I assume like to play. I don't know why.
I think
maybe because
like
they get to actually play their delusion out in a different world, a different setting, where that everyone that they play with just sees their character as what the character presents as. So it's like
there should be no reason why transgender and queer people don't enjoy playing this game. The thing is, it's just not made directly to promote their lifestyle. Korea has 0.2 to 0.7 birth rate. They don't need that,
Look, the reason why I even brought it up in the first place is because the small, minute people that bitch online about that complain about being oppressed for people calling them a guy or sir when they're actually a guy, and they're attempting to present as a woman, right? They were the one bitching about this, and it went from male and female to now you see they added non-binary. So there is now this. So they're caving. They are in fact adding shit to the game to, like you said, it's a Korean game. They don't care about. They do. The company is making the changes, because a week ago this wasn't here, and people were like, oh cool, they're not caving to the people that are attacking them, because they were getting attacked by the the TQs. I don't want to say LGB because I don't think it was.
Right.
It was
Agreed.
the trans people and the queer people that are just mentally retarded that demand the shit be changed so they feel included. When it's like, well, you're actually just a guy that is trying to claim something else. Just click dude and put a dress on in the game, you know. But they need to live their delusion to the fullest extent, or else it's a constant reminder that about the lie that they know that they're living. That's what I said earlier. They know that they're not actually what they're claiming to be. They just need everybody to affirm them because they can't affirm themselves because they know deep down it's not true. You see what I mean? So they've changed this game, and I'm assuming that's what this is about because it says, don't fret. The distinct lack of gay Zoids is a known issue. So therefore, they're being attacked and bombarded because there's a lack of gay. Which is like, what is, like, I've played so many games in my life, and any of the characters could have been gay, and I might not have known because like the games had nothing to do with them and their personal relationships with whoever the hell that may be. Like, and that's what's annoying because whether they are or not, they don't make it their forefront. That's boring. If that's what your personality is, how would you describe yourself? Well, gay, and it's like, okay, the first thing I would have said is musician.
Yeah,
like
right?
I'm not. Well, I'm heterosexual. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, no one says that. Like, why is that your identity? That's weird. Get some fucking hobbies if that's the case.
It's like Ryan
That's
Long
not what
says.
this is. Everything becomes in their world needs to like then be gay also, and it's fucking tiring. I'm just so tired of this shit, man, and it's infecting. You tried saying, "Oh, this is this company on the other side of the planet isn't even being affected, but they don't care. They don't have kids issues. They have no population worries, but they're catering. Why? Because the small amount of Americans that are making the bitching are doing so much bitching online that it's making it seem maybe to these companies that, oh wow, the market over there is complaining a lot, and we want that money over there.
And it's not just bitching; it's bullying. It's bullies. These are bullies.
Oh, 100%.
They're afraid
Absolutely.
they're bullying these people into doing this thing that they don't want to do, and they do have population problems in Korea, and they're trying to promote bettering lifestyles. It's just crazy that they've made people. It kills me that this is happening. But you know what? I played The Sims, and there is no button for non-binary. This is kind of interesting because with the Sims game, I've seen kids play it even where they accidentally make trans characters because it's just assumed that everything's on some sort of non-binary scale. So you might have a character that starts out masculine but has a female voice and eventually has boobs and everything. You could totally accidentally make a non-binary character way easier with The Sims. At least here, it looks like there's a button you have to push if you kind of like adults only. There's a button you have to push for non-binary, and it's as terrible as it is. It's a little bit better that way, I think, than just everyone's assumed to be on some sort of a gender spectrum, right? Like that's crazy that we just assume that there's a gender spectrum. That's not a real thing. It's not an anthropologically real thing, and we're trying
it's
to
a mental
force
thing.
It. Yeah,
it's a mental thing. Caul, what do you have to think about all this?
I think that I miss the old style of video games. Is what I think. You know what I'm saying? Just
keep it simple.
Go back to the golden age of like LucasArts, where you're making 3-4 games a year that are just specifically for the fans of that particular genre instead of whatever.
My favorite Star Wars game was this bounty hunter game.
GameCube? It's called Bounty Hunter. Were you Jango Fett?
Maybe it was GameCube. It was long ago. Yeah, 20 years plus, maybe. I don't remember, but I had such a blast. You could fly around. You were a freaking bounty hunter. It felt badass. I really loved it. It wasn't lightsaber battle. You had a pistol, but you were flying around. But it was,
or maybe it was the
awesome.
MMO. They had an MMO where you could be.
No,
a bounty
it wasn't an
hunter.
MMO. It was a single player game. So maybe it was just Bounty Hunter, Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
The game was amazing.
Yeah, I really liked it, and it's like those games. games nowadays, there are some gems out there. Like I've been really enjoying Sea of Thieves, but I wouldn't enjoy it if I wasn't playing with you, Caul. You know what I mean? It wouldn't feel as fun.
Yeah, for
Multiplayer
sure. Likewise.
aspects to video games are all the difference to me. Like a single player game, I don't remember the last single player game I played, and that's why I haven't gotten back into Elden Ring, because I'm like, if I'm gonna play a game, I want to hang out with my homies, you know, like who's playing right now, or I want to like grind a game that my homies play so that we do get together. I have more things to
Yeah.
you know, have with them, you know. So
Multiplayer PvE PvP is the shit when you have both.
yeah, true that. I don't know. I'm not interested in these kind of games. It's so obvious that the game companies are straying from their original idea, because I don't think they set off to make Inzoi with non-binary characters in mind.
Totally.
They've added it to appease the crowd. And like that instantly tells me you're deviating from what you want to make, because now you're adding gay shit. Oh well, we're going to put these relationships in here, and it's like, well, I mean, if it is in fact a sim game that, like, I'm not saying gay relationships shouldn't be in the game,
Of course,
because gay people exist. It's, you know, it's like, all right, well, if it's a sim game, like, sure, like that's fine. I mean, I don't care, but it's like I don't even feel like it's the gay people that are complaining about it. I think it's the freaking
it's the trans people,
the Qs, the TQ pluses, you know, that are really bitching about it.
The audience member Blur said it's a girls' game, and it might be reductionist.
Is it?
I think that's fair to say. Sims is a game like dolls that girls and little kids, particularly girls,
that's
like
a good
to
point.
play with dolls. And
I can see that.
I think that's the demographic.
Sure.
That's the main market. And a lot of the time, little girls want to play games where like there's girls and boys meet, and then they have a family and they become a mommy. If you take that away from them and you use this as an excuse to teach them an entirely different way of being that doesn't promote the future, right? Because basically what you're doing is you're kicking away that they'll ever make their own kids or have their own family nucleus. It seems like kind of a disconcerting thing. Wait. Let
me get this straight. So you're kind of like laying the foundation about a conspiracy that it's like an anti-natalist movement, right? That's what you're saying?
You caught me.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So project this anti-natalism, the nuclear family bad, you know, do your own thing. I mean, that's
these people love to live around colleges for a reason, because if they can't breed, it's like zombies. You know, you have to like bite someone's brain and have them reproduce.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I feel like I have a child, you know, and he's changed my life. My life is fundamentally different, and it's tiring, but I love him so much. Like I can feel myself changing, and I wouldn't change for the world. And
totally.
I feel like having a child and passing your knowledge on is the ultimate purpose, and also paying homage to your ancestors that struggled and to survive, to live on, to raise their kids, to pass it on. It just feels so selfish to be like, I think having kids is selfish. And it's like, what? Like, having a kid and choosing to have a kid
thing, really.
You can't be selfish. You literally, you don't get to live a selfish life anymore. Your life is now, I belong to him. You know, I have to like support him. That's it. I don't have a choice. I can't freaking do nothing and freaking give up in life. Like, no, I have to 100%. Show him like what it takes to survive in this world. It's crazy to me how they've been convinced that they shouldn't have kids. And I know people that have sterilized themselves that are younger than me because they think it's wrong to bring a child in this world. I'm like, you're crazy. Like, we need people who are going to raise like amazing children. Like they think the world is fucked, and like, you know, governments and slavery and blah blah blah. And I'm like, you understand, like, because you're not having kids and teaching them what you know about. And I asked them too, they discovered it all on their own. It's not like their parents said like, you got to look out for corruption in the government and the news media. No, they discovered it themselves. And it's like, well, imagine if you had a child and taught them how to discern reality for themselves and affirm them so they don't need validation from strangers on the internet. It's like, imagine how powerful your child would be.
We have people doing that. They're called Muslims.
Okay, well,
I'm just saying, like, if you don't do it, someone else will.
No, I could counter and say probably devout Christians also, or
like, who's having people, 6 to 12
or
kids?
Me, I'm neither, and I mean, he's only 7 months old, but like that's 100% my plan, because that's what we need to do to save the future, is devote our energy to saving the children. And it's like, so when I see these kind of video games. And we talked about that freaking nightmare of the court system in California and the Texas father, and what, like, the systems that are in place to convince the youth of society. It's just like, we have to fight. Like, that's why this, as simple as this conversation is about a stupid thing in the video game, it's so much bigger than that. It's so much, and I think I think you're onto something with this antinatalist side of it. I think that's true. Also, I think girls are being taught that, like, be a girl boss. You don't need no man. Go get a career. And it's like, and then all these women are like finding themselves and asking, I have a house, I have a great career, I'm attractive, I'm 45. Why can't I find a boyfriend? And it's like, what's that last one again?
Right.
What was that last thing you said?
If you feel like you need to be like bigger than a bunch of men and bossing a bunch of men around, there's no better job than being a mother. That's the thing.
That's a good point. That's true. Yeah, that's funny.
But I don't mean like being Muslims bad. I just mean that anti-natalists are going up. You have, like, in California, I see this all the time, where conservative Middle Easterners are having many, many kids in places where hippies are transgendering their children, their only child. And but so those very quickly,
those hippies, no. But so you just pick one religion, but like, I feel like you insert any religious group, they're also got their community solid.
Mormons are doing, and the Mormons are doing pretty good,
And why would you just say Muslims? Because it's not just Muslims. It's everyone who has a strong faith. What goes with faith? A strong community. And like, when you have a strong community, then suddenly you're in a completely different environment than being isolated. And that's what society, corporations, they want you isolated, buying all of your own items. You don't need to share with other people. No, buy all of your own stuff. Live on your own. Mm-hmm. And then you got the freaking Bill Gates of the world who think that there's way too many people on the planet. I mean, how many elites? Like the Georgia Guidestones, they were destroyed, but 500 million people is what they think is what's best for Earth. 500 million. There's 8 billion. Well, maybe. I mean, China might have like 1 billion less people. I don't know if you heard about that.
True, right? Yeah.
It's like, who knows? But still, 500 million, that's culling 85% of the planet, and that's insanity. But that, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they're seeping into all these video games and, movies and, I don't know, whatever. If you're a girl boss and suddenly these girls are being convinced to be sluts and to not actually have kids, to not try to find a good, solid partner, I'm not like blaming women. I'm saying everyone's at fault here. It's because guys spend their life savings on OnlyFans. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? What are we doing, people? Okay, sorry, I was ranting for a while there. V69 for one says, speaking of birth rate, a reminder of the thing I mentioned on Friday, the Chinese population level isn't over 1 billion. It's 200, 300 million and falling fast. Now, is that proven? Is it proven though? I kind of like peeped into that a little bit. Actually said, no. Blame women. Okay.
Oh my God.
Where's Flawed? I feel like Flawed would have been like, yep.
He'd be teeing up on that.
I don't know if it's proven that it's only 200 million in China, but it's clearly they've been lying about their population, and
the videos are crazy. The ghost towns.
If it's not true yet, it will be soon because of the buy lot, right? Which is
all the old people.
By law,
all the old people. Once all the old people die off.
Not just the old people. The young people are lying. Let it rot. They're lying in their apartments. They're like, well, you're going to give me just enough money not to die? Cool. Then I'm just going to stay in my apartment and not go outside and not breed. And this is what, you can see that example in Korea too, where the birth rates going so fast. And I think that is in Korea, pretty obviously the media is a big part of it, because the girls are seeing with OnlyFans like reality that they think they deserve all this stuff, and they're not seeing elderly women raised like how you're supposed to live your life. Like, I don't want to go work hard when I'm 40 or 50, so I'm not even going to deal with my mom. Well, the men are like, I can't compete in this world. I can't make enough money to buy this girl a Lexus. And so they're just losing it very quickly. Population drops. It's just insane. It's not like it just goes off a little bit. It's just boom, all of a sudden gone. And it's crazy to see, because Japan was getting their population replacements from Korea for the last 20 years. That's not going to happen anymore. So it's crazy to see Japan recently. Japan's been rejecting a lot of the woke and a lot of the Western ideas, with what's the name of the game, like the Assassin's Creed
Shadows,
which seems kind of racist, by the way. But the idea that they're going to have the prime minister of Japan say, we're done with this, the prime minister to weigh in on a video game. This could start, I think we're going to see that more,
Yeah, I hate that. I don't want the government saying what companies can or cannot put out in a video game, or what. Yeah,
I think they're just kind of annoyed that they're trying
to.
They
were thinking about banning the game in the country, and I don't like that. I think that's government overreach. The game is trash, but the government shouldn't ban their, even if it shits on Japan's history. Then make an announcement, make a freaking whole thing about like. Or force them to like add a disclaimer, like this is not historically accurate, because they tried claiming it was for a long time, and then like backtracked, Wikipedia. And then like with all this, it's been a freaking downhill or an uphill battle. I don't know, but I mean, they haven't gone anywhere. They've been in a pit basically the entire time.
Japan already has a lot of government overreach, like Japan's already a place you can't have guns, where they tell you what you can do and can't do, and what drugs you can not take.
And I'm not okay with that either.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
I'm suddenly gonna change and be like, well, all right, what's one more law to keep the citizens down? Yeah, no, I'm good. Fair. Here's another. This is basically the typical woman. Young woman that I think about when I'm talking about like women that are the problem. It's one piece of the problem, not the problem. Or maybe Ashley would think that this is the one problem, but here's an example. Okay, is a woman like this.
For you, I was dating this guy. We've been dating for 5 months, and in those 5 months, I was told by my friends, Zoe, he lives in Indiana. He's a fucking Republican. I was like, politics don't matter to me. What was that wrong? And so I was like, it's fine. I don't care. I'm going to get to know him first. We'll decide later. So then we kind of start talking about it. I'm a very liberal woman. So I am obviously like very much, everyone knows that I'm a liberal woman. My brother's gay. All my friends are gay. Also, like.
Okay, of course, liberal means you're open to differing opinions, and you're fine with it, right? You're okay with and understand civil discourse, right? The definition of liberal has been co-opted. I feel like the need to say that. Anyway, all right, let's continue.
Abortion rights, female rights.
The way she says that, though, abortion rights, like when she says that, it's like, that it's actually kind of bad. Abortion. I don't know how you guys feel about abortion, but I've made it very clear. I'm very pro-life now. I'm very much against abortion. And I see a woman like this, and I'm like, oh, you probably have had abortions. It's like, especially women that have had abortions,
plural,
are very, very much pro-choice. They need to maintain that it's not murder, or else they face. They're like, there's like a piece of their brain that's like nagging at them, and if they accept that it is in fact murder, then they think that then they're like, oh God, what have I done?
They would have to take responsibility. Yeah,
right. Horrible. And accountability, women, what?
There's gay. All my friends are gay. Also, like abortion rights, female rights. But anyways,
but why does she laugh at female rights? I was like, what rights do women not have that? Like what exactly why is that even a thing now in 2025? Female rights? like, if anything, women are losing rights because of men that are what I think toxic masculinity, men that are taking their power and being predators and acting like women to get into women's spaces. Women are actually losing rights right now, and women like this are championing the movement. They're literally, she's saying like women rights are really important, but at the same time will also allow a dude into her dressing room. You know what I mean? It's fucking psychotic. Okay. Anyway.
So I would like always ask him. I'd be like, what's your politics? Like, where do you lean? And he was just like, well, like socially, I'm a liberal, but economically,
Socially, I'm a liberal. But he means the classic liberal. Socially, I'm a liberal. Like, I'm accepting of other people's viewpoints. That's what he means. I guarantee it. That's what he's saying.
Republican. Fuck that. Okay. Also,
but like that's actually makes a lot of sense. Like financially, I'm Republican. Well, I mean, when Trump was last Trump presidency, I don't know if you remember, people were doing pretty good. Inflation was low. Americans were making good money. Yeah, do you remember that? Anyone? But hopefully, it's coming back.
There's a reason why Democrats, like slave owners, were often Democrats in history, and there's a reason why major corporations. So if you have a business and you have to pay for pension plans for your employees, you're not going to want to do that, right? It costs you money. So what you rather do is become a Democrat and promote the social net that everyone has to pay taxes into, so that your corporation doesn't have to pay for those social services, right? So it makes sense for if you're a slave owner, you should be a Democrat.
Let's just take Amazon, for example. It doesn't fucking matter. Democrat, Republican, he doesn't give a fuck. Bezos doesn't he just takes a bigger loan to pay off whatever. It takes a bigger loan and then pays it off, and then a bigger loan. He's never going to get paid by his company, and he will never pay taxes for the rest of his life. He's just going to take a bigger loan. Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. You don't think every single giant like CEO of or whatever owner of these companies are doing the exact same thing? Loopholes, right? I mean, they don't give a shit who's in charge, Democrat, Republican. I feel like there are certain Republicans, like Trump, for example, that are, well, presumably America first, that actually want Americans to thrive. I think Trump is, although, he seems there's the whole like people arguing about conservatives being Israel first before America first, which it is a conversation. I'm not anti-Israel, but I do see that is true in many cases with the dual citizenships and in Congresses and the way that they lean.
So he's a 28-year-old man. That's the first red flag, because if there's
a 28-year-old man who's single is a red flag. But if she is dating someone her age, or like I don't know, like wouldn't you want to find a single guy? Why is it a red flag? So there's this thing. School of Life just did a video about this, about how, and I believe this for a long time, that before you're in a relationship, you should actually be very comfortable with being alone. You should have your own things in order. You should feel good and solid in your own life and your own emotions and understanding reality and how other people affect you, and just boom, you're good in life. And then when you meet somebody, when you're in that state and they are also good on their own, then you can fully be in a relationship with someone that isn't your identity. Like my identity is not my wife. I am very much my own, and she is very much her own. So when we're together, we are just amplified, right? It's not like there are these people that are in these relationships where their partner is their identity, and suddenly they can't do anything without their partner. They get anxiety, they get trust issues, because like there's like this necessity to be I don't know, like attached to the hip, because they can't exist anymore without the partner, and they're like, that's a very unhealthy. So a 28-year-old who's single, it's like, all right, well, I mean, I was single at 28. I met my wife when I was 31, so yeah, it's crazy to think that this woman thinks it's a red flag. You know, it's like, well, what are you expecting to find? You know what I mean?
A 28-year-old man and he's single. There's a fucking reason that he's single. But anyways, so then
He's finding
I'm
himself.
like, well,
How old
like
is
what
she?
makes
Well,
Like,
she
I'll
looks
be
like she's
honest.
like 24, maybe 26, somewhere in that mid 20 range, maybe. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
you, economically Republican? Because like I could give you a whole bunch of fucking facts right now that prove that you shouldn't be. And
I would love, she doesn't break down the facts, but I would love to hear her facts of what she thinks are the proof of why you shouldn't be fiscally or financially Republican. You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine what TikTok video did you watch, girl? Oh,
and he
man.
was like, "Blah, blah, 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 blah." All of his info is from his friends. And I was like, you get all your information from your fucking redneck friends. Obviously, you can't trust them. You need to do the research yourself. And if you do the research, I told him, I was like, I'll support you based on your decision if you actually.
I guarantee you, she does her research through her friends and or from social media posts of other just people talking. Because like TikTok is filled with just these people that just say whatever to go viral. Literally whatever the hell. You think she does her own research? Yeah.
Research it yourself. Like, I won't care if you're a Republican. But anyways, and so he was like, Zoe, I have much better things to do than research politics. Like, I have way more important things to do. Ah! Okay, saying that to me is absolutely fucking insane, but go off, King.
I can't stand this woman.
She
Her
makes
voice
this weird.
is
She
so
sounds like
grating.
she sounds like possessed by demons. She has this weird kind of demon hick. Like,
it's a demon cadence. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like the high pitched squealing too is very much like you're performing for your friends right now. You're doing this. This is like a performance to fit in with her
Shrieking.
Circle. That's what this is.
That's the other thing. But her use of she's high and mighty, and then she uses the socioeconomic pejorative redneck, which essentially that's pretty crazy to do right after this, to act like what? So she's better because she's a rich white girl who could afford college. What is it exactly she's trying to say?
Is she paying for it or her parents?
You know,
I'm making an assumption. I'm making an assumption. But I think it's safe.
I also just didn't care at that point. And so I kind of put it on the back burner. I was like, I can't fucking take this right now. Well, then we get into a little spat a couple days before election day. And we almost broke up. And so I was like, nah, it's fine. I'll give him one more chance, blah, 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 blah. Well, then election day rolls around. And, well, actually, before this, he was not registered to vote. He had never voted before. And he told me that he wanted to vote in this election. And I was like, okay, cool. Do the research. But that's a whole other thing. And so.
God, she's such a scatterbrain. You know, it's like she didn't prepare. She just sat down to like, I know this will go viral. I'm going to tell this story. And then just like is blurting it all out. Yeah.
The voter registration deadline was approaching. I could tell he was going to vote
for Trump
against me. Let's just say it like that. And so I was like, he is not going
to. Yeah, against her.
That's how she feels. Yeah.
But that's how they do it, though. The Democrats convince their base that it is life or death. Trump is this Nazi. Elon Musk is a Nazi. That's literally what they're saying. Like anyone driving around in Tesla, these videos of these people are saying like, you're a traitor to America. And it's like, the Teslas are American made. They're the only car company that are 100% American made. What do you mean a traitor? They're like, where do you get, like, how does that make any sense? Elon Musk is stopping fraud. Like, they're wasting your money. He's saving your money from being wasted. How are they? But it doesn't matter. It's this indoctrination, this crew, that this is who she's performing to right now. This is basically like a ritual that they have to constantly do to stay relevant and in. It's like a renewing their, I'm going to say woke card, although I feel like that term is overused. But you know, it's like, oh, I'm getting more virtue points also on my virtue credit card that they have. You know, that's they think means something.
going to make an educated
almost
decision
over.
on who he voted for. So guess what? I'm not going to remind him of this voter registration deadline. So then it passed.
She did it on purpose. This is a W, an L on the guy. He should have known. He shouldn't rely on her. Like, I mean, it's lame that she didn't tell him because she obviously saying that she knew that he wasn't going to do it.
He's dating her. He's probably got some problems.
But it's an L on his part. Like, if he didn't vote, well, then he shouldn't. He doesn't care about politics. He actually made that very clear to her. So obviously she cares about politics.
He didn't register to vote. So there we go. It was saved. He wasn't going to vote. I wouldn't have to deal with it then. But then we got into that little spat, and I was like, let me try one more time. Let me see if he's learned anything from me. And I asked him.
Oh, let me see if he's being indoctrinated properly. That's essentially what she said. If he's learning from me,
right?
It's like,
learning is agreeing. If you don't agree, you didn't learn.
And think about the video games, the movies that they put out. Dude, we were just talking about this earlier. Book of Boba. Me and Caul were watching it, and they turned him into this guy who needed to go be with the what people did he go and learn how to. The Tusken Raiders to be a good person, like that, right? Remember that? It was like, what the fuck
terrible.
are we watching?
It was ridiculous.
It's Boba Fett. This dude's a badass.
Savage beasts that rape and murder, and then they made him.
They made him go how to learn how to be a proper human or a proper person, morals from these people that rape and pillage. Like, what are you talking about? What the fuck are we watching? But they believe that it's their moral superiority is insane. That quote from AOC, it's better to be morally correct than factually or morally something. It's better to be morally correct than factually correct, essentially. I don't remember exactly the verbatim quote.
Point blank on election day, I'm like, so who would you have voted for if you would have voted?
She knows.
He was like, I would have voted independent. And I was like, do you know that how harmful and basically wasteful that is? And also, like, check your privilege by saying you're going to vote independently.
What?
Check your privilege for voting independent. Oh, God, this woman.
And he was like, wow, Zoe, I cannot believe that you think my vote would have been a waste. Shut the fuck up, because it.
This is her voice, dude. It's
I can't stand her voice.
She sounds like a witch, like this creepy, like on a broom, like a witch.
Yeah. Oh, look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna do us all a favor and just not let her finish.
But where was she going? Was she going anywhere? Oh my god!
She fucking broke up with him. Okay, that's it. Well, she broke up with him for it.
And he lived happily ever after. Okay, cool.
Well, let's be real. Good for both of them. Because she would have tried to manipulate him and been miserable forever. And then resented him, even though she's psychotic. Right, but he wouldn't have changed. Yeah. And he would have been miserable because he would have been stuck with this woman forever. And that would have been horrible because they're both just the worst. Well, she is the worst. I don't know. He seemed like he didn't give a shit. He seemed like the type of dude that just wanted to work and then drink beers with his buddies. You know what I mean? Just live life and not worry about politics. Like, you know, there are people that are like, it doesn't matter who's in charge. I'm still going to go to work. You know, some years I'm going to have to work harder than others, but I'm just going to work and I want to just enjoy them. I'm going to go fishing on the weekends, golfing on the weekends. That's all I want. You know what I mean? And not that there's anything wrong with that, you know? I think everyone should pay attention. Did you hear that? Or did I mute it in time?
You muted it in time.
Nice. I don't want to blow everyone's eardrums out. But excuse me. Sure. Yeah, she is just the worst. And it's these types of people that are being indoctrinated into this. This is the same type of woman that would tell her 2-year-old son, I'm only going to love you if you're a girl. You know, it's that same type of mentality that they think that it's morally correct, even though that's another few steps into insanity. Like that woman, I think, needs to be taken away, or the son needs to be taken away from that woman. It's just crazy. So let's see. PJ Straight Edge for one says, I blame the wet markets. Okay. This is a little late, so I don't remember what you were talking about. PJ Straight Marks again. Straight Edge for one says it turned the freaking samurai gay. Ubisoft. Yeah, I love that. PJ Straight Edge for one says deadass. I thought you were gonna play a video of Lydia. Oh God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like I check out this woman. I can't stand her, and I just like play a video of Lydia. No, she blocked me long ago. I haven't seen her posts on in any for
And to be
years,
fair,
years
even
now.
she is not like that. Like, I mean, we're conservative wise ideologically, so it's like, you know, God, this is
Yeah,
like,
she claims to be stoic.
yeah.
Anyway, Kasama for 5 said there's only one use for a woman like that. That's so fucked up.
Ouch.
He says organ donor. It's so messed up. Yowza. V6 Neon for one says Chinese were forced mass vaccination of the population, but millennials were part of the one child policy. So stressed having to work in large cities and factory dorms, high stress, heart attacks, big thing. Wow. And especially after the first half of that. I'm on YouTube, so I can't outright say it, but let's just say there's a connection there. Okay. Between the high stress jobs and the
nets outside of the Foxconn factories.
The forced. Yeah, that's crazy too. The suicide rates. That's not even the heart attacks. That's the suicide attempts. You know, people trying to jump out. That's crazy. Squigs. So Squigs, is that your father? Did you post a video of your dad playing a song? Is that what that is? Because like I listened to it a few times, and I'm like, this is so rad. Like I almost want to like put it as like a secret track on my album, like at the very, very end. And I'm like, I don't know. That's so presumptuous of me, but like it's so cool that like it sound to me that sounds like one of those songs that like kind of like comes in at the end of a song that you hear. You're like, oh, this is different. Like, what is this? And then ends, and then the next song starts. But it's just like a little clip, you know, a little something, because it's like a little ditty. It's only like a minute, right? Anyway, he just lost his father, and I just he posted that, and I just thought it was fantastic. So,
dude, respect.
Anyway, let me know, Squicks, because I will absolutely do that. You're still finding new things about him. Well, I said I don't know if you saw my message, but I'm very grateful that you even have that, because that's very cool to like have your dad sing it and stuff. So,
dude, sending love
for sure.
hard stuff.
So, Andreas, you're back in California, huh?
Oh, he caught me. Yeah, just briefly though. There's that law. There's a law. I thought I could just like leave to Serbia or Turkey for like a couple days and then come back, but then there's like you had to wait like 90 days.
You didn't even go back to the States. You just straight up went to a different country, but you need to stamp a passport out.
Yeah, so I did stamp out, and then I realized that to get back in, this is the other thing. Europe is so much. It's like America is less of a country than Europe is. You know, Europe has become a country. You can't get out of Europe. You go to Switzerland, you go to Croatia. It's like all part of.
Well, you don't need a passport. You could just certain places you do, like going from like if you drive from Munich, and there's this one highway that goes down into Austria. You need to. Well, it's not actually. You don't even need to show your passport, but you need to get like a highway tag for your car. So like pay tax on the driving on their highways or whatever.
The right to pay. In Czech Republic, they want to check you, but like literally even Switzerland now, everything it's crazy. You got to go to Serbia, Bosnia, or Turkey to get out of the EU, and I don't know how long that'll last for either. But then you have to be gone for 90 days. Like as long as you're in, you have to be out. So 90 days, 90 days out, 90 days in, 90 days out. And so I'm working on the Visa D. So I'm gonna get the Visa D going pretty soon. But yeah, it's just it's Europe. But that was kind of a bummer because I really wanted to stay kind of indefinitely. Yeah. However, I'm not underwhelmed by the progress here. America's definitely exponentially better than it was before the election. And it's actually kind of cool because I think that it's like if you're a lobster and you're slowly boiling, you might not notice how much better it is. But to be gone from Biden's America to here now is like, whoa, things are crazy different. There's no red dye in your ketchup anymore. Things are going really fast. So that's kind of cool. So it's nice to see.
Yeah. Well, Caul, what have you been up to, man? I know people here have missed you. You there, Caul? I think
Nice.
we missed him.
He's testing us. He's
Oh,
like,
sorry, I was muted. I've been killing a lot of people on the seas. That's what I've been up to offline.
Sea thieves.
Just, getting the bloodlust out. It's been good. I'm gonna go back to streaming it. I think I'm gonna maybe pop it on here in a minute, actually.
Oh, I love that. All right, cool, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've been making videos too. I see. I don't know if you've posted any yet, but you sent me a few clips.
Some fun tucks.
You're like, check this out, and I'm like, that is awesome.
Yeah, there's been some good ones.
Are you gonna like commentate on the clips? Like,
yeah,
just
that's
talk
what
about what you're doing.
I'm doing the audio for that because everything else is already ready to go.
Yeah.
Just to give them an idea of like what my mindset was and where things went wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Like where you're thinking. Like I love that. I want to hear that side of your tucking sprees because you are
like
very
on that
good
one
at
with
it.
the shotgun. Like,
yeah,
you're probably
that was
wondering
great.
how I got in this situation. Like that's that moment when I nuked him.
You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. You should use that clip too. You know, from that. I don't know what movie that's from, but like, yeah. Yeah.
But cool. I'm gonna go.
I'm excited to see it.
Get on the seas and get on the streams. I gotta like get my OBS all back in working order. I think it's disconnected right now. So
right on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No wonder. I mean, I can't see you. It's been a while.
Exactly.
But anyway, go check it out. Have they reached a 2 gay verdict yet? I forgot. The title of the show is Inzoi gay enough for based AF? Yes, it is. Or no?
I'm still looking forward to the game, so that's pretty gay, right? I think
Andreas made it a yes. Anyway, we're gonna get out of here. It's been a chill show. Thank you very much, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, here on the Krigler Show, doing my normal thing, talking about space. There's some cool new discoveries down in Antarctica, some new wildlife that we've never heard about and known about. Some brand new stuff that's really exciting. So we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. In the description below, you can find all these lovely gentlemen and, of course, Vladzilla, Quarterback Garrett, Georgia Giant Slayer. Their links are down there too. But Caul's going to start streaming again soon. Andreas still has been going live on Sync Tank on Tuesday nights. And although last week you weren't on there, but it was still...
You're watching my show. You're so cool. I didn't even know you cared. That's my heart warms. I will be here this week, though.
I support my homies. All right. When I see my friends streaming, I like to pop in and say hi. I can't stay the whole time.
Good lurk, good lurk.
7-month-old, but I love a good lurk. Just adding one number, smashing the like button. I definitely do that. So
it's true.
Man amongst
well,
men.
I appreciate you all. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for your donations tonight, and I'll see you next time.
Cheers.